Hi, and welcome to my channel. For those of you new, my name is Dave, and these videos are a mixture of my journey towards financial freedom. They will cover financial products and also financial well-being, so you, like me, can reach your aims and goals sometime in the future. Now let's get into this latest video. This latest video is about my self-invested personal pension for the review for the month of September 2022. For those new, the aim of the portfolio is an annual return of 10%. For 2022, we're looking for dividends of £4,000 and a year-end value of £120,000. Now, we were ticking along nicely. Obviously, recent events in the marketplace have had some kind of a dramatic or a dismal month with regard to performance, but it just goes to show it's not about short term, it's about long term. If we look at the following chart, a quick overview of what's happened to the FTSE 100 during September. Started off the month of 7284, obviously spooked by some hawkish comments in the US, and then obviously we had the lovely mini budget which sent the market in free fall over the last week. Finished at 6893, down 391 points in the month. A loss in the FTSE 100 of 5.39%, which has obviously had a dramatic effect on the valuation of the portfolio during the month. So, if we look at the following chart, a quick overview of the monthly valuations. We started the month £92,957. We were down year to date 5.22%. End of the month, we finished at £87,155. Down year to date minus 11.93%. A loss in the month of £5,802, mainly hit because banks and building societies, insurance companies shall we say, had a dramatic effect about the mini budget. Made normal contributions during the month of £200, and it was topped up by the government of tax relief of £50. And as we look at the chart, predominantly based in the UK financial services. Platform provider charges monthly fees roughly about the same of £14.09, and as we said, predominantly UK based. 83.81% is in the UK and Europe, 13.93% is in USA and Americas, and a small percentage, 2.26%, is in Asia and emerging markets. Now, although we've had a bad month, shall we say, because of what's happened in the market, we have had a very good month in receiving dividends. So during the month, we received £1,018.21 in dividends. Portfolio has given us a yield of around about 4.25%. Now, we only record our 15 shares. We don't record funds because that is automatically reinvested in accumulation units. But year to date, dividends of £3,065.89. And a quick overview of where we received them dividends. So Pennant, the water company, £35.68. Lloyds, the bank, £261, 557 new shares reinvested. Barclays Bank, £65, again reinvested, 37 new shares. We did receive some quarterly dividends from Shell of £32 and BP £28, but we don't reinvest them because of the cost. It's not worth it. We will put them into funds or holdings on a regular basis. We received a nice dividend from Legal & General, £78, 33 new shares, and a very nice dividend from Aviva, £433, which gave us 112 new shares. And then finally, HSBC, £83, which we received on the last day of the month, and it will buy new shares at the start of October, possibly around about 17 new shares. So, although the portfolio has struggled during the month, we've received £1,000 plus in dividends, which has all been reinvested back into the portfolio. Let's just see what's in our holdings and our portfolio. So, if you look at the following chart for our shares, £68,498 makes up 78% of our portfolio, of which 67% is in the FTSE 100, and nearly 12% is in the FTSE 250. We own 15 shares, struggled during the month. We've now got 6 in profit, 9 in loss. Now, before we go through the holdings individually and the values, just a few things to note. Some results we had. So AG Bar, the drinks provider, very good interim results. Now, revenues was up 17%, pre-tax profit up 22%, and a dividend was increased from 2p a share interim to 2.5 pence, which was paid at the end of October. Card Factory, again, interim results. Like-for-like sales in the stores was up 6.1%. Total revenue was up 69%. Back in profit, made £14 million profit against a loss of 6.5 million. But it is still opening new stores. It is doing a trial of click and collect. It is paying debt, but it cannot pay debts or dividends until 2024 because it's got some kind of banking or covenant. But it is a very cash-rich company. Has struggled lately, but some very good results, and it is reducing its debt on a massive basis. And then another company has had a great run recently, somewhat struggled during the month, JD Sports. Revenues were increased. Pre-tax profits of 298 million against 364 million. Struggled in America because of fiscal policies. It didn't pay a dividend last year. It's paid an interim dividend of 0.13p, but it's very cash rich, has over £1 billion in cash, but it has been hit by recent tradings in the US. But it's expanding. 51 new stores in Europe, 101 new facias or stores in the Americas, plus also new stores Indonesia, Israel, Australia. Okay, but it is a very cash-rich company. So, some very nice results from some of our smaller holdings within the portfolio. Now, during the month, we also topped up one of our holdings. We purchased 130 new shares in Legal & General at a cost of £348. Reason was, very safe, it's very boring, but it's given a very good dividend of over 7%, which will all be reinvested as we proved earlier on in this video. Largest shareholders of note, okay, is Aviva, 4,320 shares, nearly £17,000, nearly 20% of our portfolio. Lloyds Bank is our second largest holding, increased the month because dividends, 33,286 shares, nearly £14,000, 16% of our portfolio. Our next holding is Drax, the biomass or a pellet maker, 1,189 shares, has struggled lately, down to £7,200, makes up 8% of our portfolio, but we were in profit of over 100%, and it will give a very good dividend payable next month in October. HSBC is next, 1,059 shares, £4,948, 5% of our portfolio. Very good results away from, so we say, UK banks basis. Quarterly dividend will be reinstated. Our next holding is away from the banks. It's Greggs the Bakers. We own 276 shares, £4,725, 5.4% of our portfolio. Has struggled lately because of consumer spending, but it is hopefully going to give very good results at the start of October. And again, it will pay a dividend in the start of October, which will be reinvested. Other shares we own in Barclays, 2,941 shares, £4,200, nearly 5% of our portfolio. And the share we've been topping up, Legal & General, 1,599 shares, £3,461, makes up 4% of our portfolio. Other companies we own Shell, BP, and as we've said, we own JD Sports, AG Bar, Card Factory, we own AJ Bell, the platform provider, and we own Pennon, the water company. So a collection of shares, so we say 15 shares. Some in profit, some in loss thanks to this month and what's happened, but those shares are all long-term buys, and they're giving us very nice dividends as we've proved during the month. Now, moving on to the funds held within our portfolio. Now, quite small in stature, we own 6 funds. Again, struggled this month because of sentiment. We now only have 2 in profit, 4 in loss. Total value £18,455, makes up 21.2% of our portfolio. And if we look at the following, just a quick overview of where they're held. So our largest holding is a legal and general technology fund, £6,325, 7% of our portfolio, but it owns about 280 shares, stocks, predominantly US based, but across the technology sector. It was done for diversification. Our next holding is a US smaller companies, was showing a very nice profit till recently, now £3,781, 4.3% of our portfolio. Our next holding is quite selective, Bally Gifford Positive Change, £3,112, 3.57% of our portfolio. Owns between 25 and 30 what we call ESG stocks, but was in profit, was doing a very good return until recently, but a long-term buy towards a sentiment towards a greener, efficient future. Our next holding is a UK equity fund, £2,463, have received a small dividend being reinvested, but it makes up 2.83% of our portfolio. And again, a new fund done for diversification was the Global Growth Fund, £2,097, makes up 2.41% of our portfolio. And then finally, a fund which has struggled during the last few months because of what's happened in the UK. We did put £1,000 into a UK smaller fund. It was in profit. Dramatic events recently. It's now worth £674, so a substantial loss, but hopefully smaller companies will outperform large companies over time. But thankfully it makes up 0.77% of our portfolio. So 6 funds, mainly bought originally because we were solely UK based and shares, but it was done for diversification, and we saw no reasons, just like our shares, why any of them funds should be sold in the short term. We aim to hold them between 3 and 5 years, unless market sentiment change or the management may change within that fund. Remember, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a slow and steady. It will give us 10% year in, year out. So last year we made 30%. This year we're struggling, but hopefully market sentiments will recover. Who knows what will happen with this impending recession, shall we say? But it just goes to show there are good months, there are bad months. Investing should be considered as a long-term plan. Remember, if you like the videos, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you again in the next video.